Welcome to It's Tarot and Beyond. This is not the reading that I had planned today, but pending a power outage and an inspiration from Spirit to sit down anyway, here we are. So what is this reading about? Well, you probably already know by the title, but as I sit here and ask that question, I'm left feeling like we need to keep this open-ended. So that's what we'll do. This is going to be a scrying reading, since the cards are a little bit difficult to see despite the few candles that I have put up here. But I will show you each one. So group number 1 we have is the Ancient. Group number 2 is the Oath. And group number 3 is the Fairy Norn. Make your selection and we'll see you in your readings. All right, hi group number 1. Your card, the Ancient, says Elders, Experience, and Lessons. And as I sit here and start to connect into the energy of this reading and this message for you, the first thing that's coming through strongly is blessings. Lessons and blessings, which is actually one of the last pick a card readings I did. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go and watch that, but there's a message in the structure of these words, lesson and blessing. And sometimes we don't see the blessing in the lesson because in the moment it doesn't feel like a blessing. But your elders here, or rather I should say this ancient wisdom within you that you house at soul level, is aware of this process. It is aware of how cause and effect take place and how the evolution of the soul and the consciousness result in accordance with that balancing. Karma is not there to punish you. Karma is there to help you to learn, understand, and balance. It's essentially neutral. It does not wish you harm. It does not wish you ill health. It does not wish you bad tidings or bad luck. And if those things are presenting themselves to you, it is with this ancient wisdom that you can approach it from the perspective of embrace, to see all of these experiences as lessons and therefore blessings. They are testing your capacity to handle them, to respond to them rather than to react, and to choose how you do so. So there is a message here coming through about focus, being intentional with your focus and prioritizing a fluid way of dealing with life's struggles, not to resist those struggles, not to condemn them or yourself or others in the process of those struggles, but rather to experience them as they are, to take them at face value in a sense, but also to look to the deeper meaning of what is behind this. What is the lesson that you could potentially be learning from these experiences? And if nothing comes to mind at this moment that you're being tested with, look to the past and the experiences you've had that were challenging. Everyone has them. I'm sure you can find at least 3 examples, if not many, many more. And look to those and ask yourself, what was the lesson there? What were you learning? And did you learn that? Did you take from it what was highest for you, or did you not? And how can you, even now, retrospectively, go back and turn things around? Because from your current vantage point, from this perspective in the now, you always have power. You have power to change the script. You are able to alter the way that you experienced something even after it has already been experienced. Because that experience still lives inside you. And when you change your relationship to it in the now, it no longer holds the same weight that it once did. I see the wisdom of the night being presented to you, But I also wanted to say prevented when the word presented was attempting to exit my mouth. So you may feel as though this darkness is preventing you from seeing clearly. But darkness is an invitation to remember to turn on the light, just as I have done here in this reading today. There are always resources available to you. Sometimes you may have to think on your feet or think on the fly. Sometimes you may be called to adapt. Sometimes you may have to trust that even though you can't see, that you're still being guided and that there's still a purpose to all of this. That all of the things around you are still there even though you can't see them in the dark. And sure, you may bump into things. You may scrape your knee or bang your elbow. But you're going to understand the dimensions of the room that you're in. And you're going to find your way to the door. And what's more, many of you may choose to actually fly above that. You may choose to see through the inner eye and become aware of that which has existed in that darkness all along by shedding light on it, by becoming aware, because light equates to consciousness, awareness. So this ancient wisdom is presenting itself to you through the tests and lessons of life and through, I'm hearing, the idiosyncrasies of your being. Idiosyncrasies, meaning those little parts of yourself that are unique to you. May be classified as weird, but in my eyes, weird is a compliment. The weirder, the better. And I believe in a previous reading, we were looking at etymology of words, and weird stems from actually the origin of the word word. The word, the power of the word. It's a spell. It has magic in it. Weirdness is powerful. And perhaps what you thought was preventing you from seeing or preventing you from moving forward or was in some way making it difficult for you to see the reason behind certain tests and lessons. I'm hearing karmic residue from the past. But it's in embracing the weirdness of life, the weirdness of yourself, and the power in your word that you can alter this, that you can retrieve and receive. I'm being shown somebody taking back what they once owned, that they rejected in themselves, that they pushed away. I'm hearing your weirdness is valuable, 717, as I received that message. Your weirdness is valuable. It's part of you. It's who you are. And guess what? We're all weird. What even is normal? It's such a reductionist way of thinking, isn't it? What even is normal? If weird became more common, that would be normal. And then we'd have to stretch the boundaries of what weird actually means, or normal would become strange and abnormal. So there's a flipping of the script that I see for you here, group number 1. You're taking what was and perhaps some misunderstandings or misconceptions around what was so that you can change what is, so that you can become clear in areas that were sort of blocked off, that you were cut off from, or that you cut yourself off from out of fear or lack of understanding. Let's put it that way. Because I think fear is really just lack of understanding. When we understand, if we could understand everything, fear would cease to exist. And I mean this at the highest level. If we truly understood the reason for everything, not just at a mental, cognitive level, but I'm talking from the perspective of God. There would be no fear. And there's a certain level of this ancient wisdom that you and your ancestors are learning through these lessons, because the lessons that you carry aren't just your own. Some of them are carried forward from the ancestors who came before you, the people in your lineage. They're just real human people. Sometimes we think of ancestors as these guardian beings, all powerful, all seeing, all knowing. And yes, there are those as well. But the ancestors that I'm talking about are just people like you who were living their life as best they could and who struggled and learned and failed and loved and lied and laughed and cried and danced. They're just like you. They're just like us. And they did the best they could with the knowledge that they had, and so are you. But with each generation, the intention is that that wisdom improves because that knowledge base expands, because the experience leads to more and better understanding. And in that, hopefully, less fear. So I see this part of you, group number 1, waking up. Waking up and coming home to yourself, knowing that no matter what happens in life, you are safe. And you are guarded, protected, and as we started the reading here, saying blessed, blessed, blessed. Why? Because you choose to be, because you're here, because you're trying. And I know Yoda says there is no try, only do, and that's true. But trying is doing in this case, because you're trying and that is you doing something. You are taking action through that. Even just the willingness itself is an action. You are doing your due diligence in this life. You're attempting to understand, and that counts. That counts. The understanding comes along with that. It results from that, because what you choose to focus on is what you're going to prove to yourself. And that's the whole point here, is that it's not about what is, it's about what you think is. It's about your level of perception, the stories that you tell yourself, and the stories that have been told to you. Some of these stories are good, and they are full of wisdom, and they carry healthy, nutritious things that we need to evolve, and some are not. Some are born out of fear and misunderstanding of the struggles and the pain and the limitations that were put in place as protective measures against those things. But you are not that person. What I mean by that is that you are not that version of you that once existed. This version of you, and in each now moment that progresses from here onward, is a different version of you. And who you were before is not who you are now. You've become greater simply through the living, the experience of life itself. Because even if you don't understand the lessons or the karma or the circumstances that you find yourself in this moment, the experience of them will help you to do so. Given enough time and enough context and enough perspective, you will understand. And you will take that with you into the beyond. And you will give that to your ancestors. This is your blessing. Not just the blessing you receive, but the blessing that you're able to live and give. You're able to benefit others, whether or not you have children in this lifetime. Because the legacy that you leave behind isn't just of flesh and blood. It's of your awareness. It is of your life. You. Your life force cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes form. And you are one with everything. So what you live and what you experience and what you partake in and what you focus on, and all of the understanding that eventually comes from that, and that you've won on your own behalf from lived experience of the past, it all comes together and is shared collectively. It's understood collectively. Our individual experiences help the collective mind to understand itself better over time. We're with each other in that, aren't we? So return to your base and stabilize yourself. Make yourself known to you, the observer mind. Watch yourself living your life, and don't be scared. Just be. And as you do these things, and as you go through your daily routines, and as you take part in the life and the busyness and the rest and the mundane and the wonderful, remember, all of it is valuable. All of it is gold. If only you'll choose to see it as such. And with that in mind, the ancient wisdom arises within you. You become it. You are it. And in the moments that you feel like you've lost it, remember that your focus shapes reality, and so you can tap back into it simply through a shift in perspective. With thought alone. Thought is much more powerful than we have given it credit. Thought becomes things, because thought is the ancestor of action. So take that wisdom with you. And make what you will of this world and yourself. I think that's the message. I'm going to leave it there, group number 1. I hope this was helpful. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. But I hope that something was helpful on your journey. Though I don't walk with you through all your life experiences, I hope that the words of wisdom that feel profound to you and that are helpful or necessary will. For your greatest and highest good always, in all ways. I love you. I bless you. Thank you for being here. And thank you to the members. I'm looking forward to the live stream coming up for the Soul Family next week at 2 p.m. PST on Tuesday, October 28th. If you'd like to join that live stream, you can become a member by hitting the join button or exploring the links in the description box below to the members side of the channel. If you'd like to book a 30-minute reading with me, a 60-minute reading with me, or any Reiki session energy work, the information is listed in the description box as well. And you can book through my PayPal. Just make sure to add your email address so that I can send the reading out. One more time, thank you, I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 2, welcome to your reading. You guys were drawn to the oath, and it says promise, pledge, and contract. This is a theme that's been coming up in a lot of the readings lately, I've noticed. The vow, the oath, contracts, the justice card, law, higher laws, all of these themes have been presenting themselves, and I feel strongly that this is a time of reassessment or reevaluation. It's a time to look over the agreements that we've made consciously and intentionally through our actions, through our beliefs, through our stance, and choose whether we wish to continue participating in the same way. Do we want to re-up on that contract, or do we want to amend it? Or do we want to cancel it? Have we learned enough that we can complete it and set ourselves free from that? Or do we want to make something new? Do we want to pledge our allegiance to an entirely new belief or way of doing things? This is the time to reassess and reevaluate. The contracts that you amend or that you make at this time will equate to something much greater as time unfolds. Because there's something great within you that you're still working on shaping. I'm seeing a diamond in the rough, and that came up in another reading I did on my other channel as well. And I believe that in that reading, what was coming through was a message about a multi-faceted soul gift. And the honing or the shaping of that gift or that skill in new ways, or the uncovering, unearthing of that gift, and the welcoming of its presence into your life. And this soul gift is something that you are contracted to begin to work with in some way, whether you're at the level of unearthing it or you're at the level of really starting to shape it, to hone it, to polish it. Whatever phase you happen to be at in this contractual agreement, it is nonetheless a promise that your soul made to yourself upon incarnation, or prior, I should say, before incarnation. And this is something that you wished to do. And you wished to do this because it's time. It's a time in this reality that this gift is needed. And it's time for you to be able to work with that gift in a more overt way. Because it may have just kind of been running in the background. It may have been something that was there, but was never really actually utilized or paid much attention to, but it was there. And for whatever reason, stipulations in the contract, the timing is now. And any other subsequent contract that has limited or prevented or even shaped this skill or this gift positively, it depends on what the case is for each person. But I'm seeing a whole bunch of different contracts here. Some of them are connected and some of them are not. But at the center of them all is the ultimate oath, which is this practice of you becoming the version of you that this skill can work through and benefit humanity. Now, the skill isn't something, or this gift isn't something that is outside of you. It is a part of you. It's like your arm. But maybe it's kind of like your non-dominant arm, where it needs some practice to improve the dexterity so that you can create art with that arm, with that hand. But it may be a little messy right now because you haven't worked with those muscles yet. Do you know what I'm saying? And part of the contract here is to get that arm working. Now, I'm seeing for some of you that there's chains on the arm, so this could be old contracts that, again, need to be amended. I'm hearing testified, okay, testify in the spiritual court, spiritual law, to free anything for any reason that limited this gift or the usage of this skill or the development of this work. Because it is a lifetime project for you. And what you're going to build out of that is something extremely valuable, very precious, very rare enough that its bounty will serve many generations to come. Because what you can do is unique to you. And yes, there are 8+ billion souls on this planet, and many of them may have the same skills or similar abilities, but none of them are you, and none of them will do it the exact same way that you will do it. Not just in the execution or the output of what is created, but the energy behind it. Your soul signature is unique. You could say the exact same words in the exact same way as someone with the very same gift as you, and it would still hit different. It would still be unique and rare. Do you hear what I'm saying? Don't prevent yourself from using this skill or gift or working the nerve up to be able to practice it even, simply because you're afraid that it will get lost in all the voices of others. It won't. Those who need to hear it, those who need to see it, those who need to feel it will. But first, you have to be the one who embraces that. You have to embrace yourself. And you have to let yourself work with that, develop it. And that will take time. So part of this contract, part of this oath, is that you give yourself the grace of time, because the time that it will take for you to hone this skill, whatever level you currently happen to be at, is necessary. For some it will be shorter, for some it will be longer, but for each it will be unique and it will be intentional. And I'm being encouraged to share with you not to compare your process with another's. The amount of time it takes, do not compare that. And similarly, as we were discussing before, don't compare the output either, or the value of it, even if it looks similar to someone else's. There is no comparison in this. Each contract is unique. Each soul is unique. Each expression is extremely unique. And you need to embrace that. You need to remember that. I think I just needed to remind you. You probably already know this, but Spirit, they work in ways that they know our innards. They know our mind. They know our heart. Spirit is the all. It's they, it's it, it's one thing, it's everything in between. And so Spirit will always see what you need the most and provide that. And in due time, and there's a timing to when things are provided. So I'm seeing you being given the gift of this gift. And the stability and the usage of that gift will progress in your time. So take your time. When you're ready, you will act. And you will know that you're ready because you're acting, because you're doing, because you're playing, experimenting, just starting out. Now, for some of you, I'm being brought back to those other contracts, the other sort of tenuous things that may need to be dealt with to allow this gift to truly shine and be exposed to the world as it's meant to, because you don't hide it away in a vault. It's not going to do any good there. And it's certainly not going to do you any good. Yes, it's going to do the world good, but more importantly, it's going to do you good, because hiding yourself in a vault is a death sentence. You need air, you need life, you need sunlight, you need the grass under your feet. You can't hide yourself away like that. It would kill you. And similarly, you can't hide this gift away either. And so there's other things in the vault, or maybe contracts that put this in the vault, or you in the vault, or whatever this is, that need to be amended or changed or revoked. And you can do that at any time. You don't need someone to tell you what your contracts are. You can simply look at the patterns in your life. You can look at where you've had struggles. You can look at where there's fear. You can look at where you have resistance to certain things. You can look at your beliefs about certain things and start to evaluate those, because those are the contracts. It's not like it's written in some ethereal paper somewhere. It's an energetic stamp. It's an energetic blueprint, and it exists within you. So the contract isn't something intangible that you need a reader to tell you about. It's something that you can assess for yourself and change. And the way that you do that is through awareness. And by bringing awareness to these things, you can revoke or give consent, whatever is appropriate for you. And you can make a statement about that, and you can write it out if that helps, but you don't need to, because just the awareness alone is powerful, because the awareness precedes the action, and you're going to take action in a new way once the awareness changes. I mean, ideally. Some people don't. And if that's the case, if you have awareness of it and you haven't acted, then that's the area you want to look at, because there's some kind of an imbalance, and that's the contract there. Could be a contract of hesitation, or a contract of procrastination, or a contract of fear and the holding back of the self, like self-sabotage contracts, civil war within the self. Those kinds of things can be assessed, and you, with awareness, can start to make improvements. You can start to bring back compassion to yourself and understanding and grounding and stability, so that you feel safer to be able to move through that block. Because it's not even really a block. It's just a belief. Probably one based on an experience you had, because that's usually how beliefs go. We either experience it directly, or we're taught that through someone else's experience, and it's given to us by proxy. But eventually, it's up to us to understand everything that we're holding and whether it's worth holding, or what has been withheld, and whether we need to address that, because there's things we need, or there's things we need to do. Now, it's time. So whatever has been there, shine a light on it, bring it to the surface, take a look at it, review those papers in your mind, and shred what doesn't need to be there, and stamp what does, and send out what you can, metaphorically speaking. This is going to help your skill to progress. This is going to help you to move forward with this gift. It's going to help you to not feel so backed into a corner, because I'm getting that from someone here. I don't know who specifically that's for, but I'm seeing somebody backed into a dark corner. And it's like your back is against the wall, and you may feel as though time is up in a negative sense. But no, it's actually like it's just time, and you're ready now. It's okay. You can come out of the corner. It's all right. It's safe. Your gift is profound and it's powerful, but it's a part of you. It's not something to fear. It's a part of you, and you wouldn't be afraid of your own arm, would you? But maybe you've been so disconnected and cut off from that arm that you're afraid that it'll smack you in the face. But it won't, because as you are aware of your arm, you get to use it. You get to use it. You get to choose. So take your time getting to know yourself here and applying that. Now, the other side of this is practice, which again takes time. That's why time is a factor here, but it's not a pressure upon you. It's a good thing, because it's saying you're ready and you're going to start doing this. You wouldn't have been attracted to this group or this reading or this energy or this channel if that was not the case. You've proven it to yourself just by being here and by staying, because we're 14 minutes into this reading and you're here still. If you're hearing these words, clearly you're here. So what does that say to you? It says that you're ready, and that it's safe, and that it's okay. And I'm hearing you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself. Maybe you feel on some level like you're going to repeat mistakes of the past or patterns of the past. Again, those are old contracts, and you can revoke your consent from that. You don't have to do it that way. You are an all-powerful being. You're the creator of your reality, so you get to change that if you want to. There's nothing outside of you that is saying you have to do it this way. And every contract that you have at the higher level that does kind of work in this divine way is also you. It's like you built that, you created that. So trust yourself. You know what you're doing here. And you can do it in a way that is so unique, so valuable. The number 22 on the card just stood out to me here. I know you probably can't see it because it's dark. Oh, well, maybe if I zoom it in just enough, but number 22 could be significant. And you know what? Now that I think about it, 22 is the master builder number, isn't it? I think so. So you're meant to build something. Yes, because 2 and 2 make 4. And that's about power and stability, protection, construction, building. So you're going to build something. Maybe it's an empire. The number 4 reminds me of the emperor in the tarot. Or it could just be the expression of this gift that in the long run does create something. And guess what? It's you. It's you that's created out of this. And you stepping into your power is the greatest project that you will ever build, that you will ever do. Because it's you. And then I look down at the card again and I'm seeing this fairy princess there, and I'm hearing this fairy princess is there for you. Whatever that means, or whoever that's for. This fairy princess is here for you. She's right there. And maybe there's a part of that that is included in this gift, or that can be included in this gift, because it feels to me like a fantastical being exhibiting to you the limitlessness of this gift. It transcends the reality that we live in, the constructs of this reality, the building blocks of it. It can literally transcend that. There's magic at work here, and it's you. Anything that you create is magic because you are the creator and you've just used your power. Now I'm hearing don't force it. And I'm being shown Jedis in training, learning how to use the force. You don't force the force, you feel it. And you don't conceal it, you just feel it. And now I'm being shown somebody sealing an envelope with wax, and putting their stamp on it. It's very unique to them. And this was actually used in the olden times or whatever to indicate the authenticity of that message. The seal was very unique and special, especially in royalty or noble courts and things like that. They would have a ring or a stamp that was specially made with their unique seal to represent that this was kind of like their signature. And the unbroken seal represented that the letter was intact and the message was authentic. And this is what I'm seeing for you. And I'm getting goosebumps all through my body as I'm saying this. So it's true. It's resonating. It's a frequency that I can and it's not a thought. It's a feeling. It's a knowing. It's an experience. Just like this gift is for you. And it's authentic. Now I'm hearing it's reserved. And I'm being shown a special reserve of some kind of like whiskey or something. It's like it's a special reserve. It was made special by you or for you. And it took a lot of time to age and mature in that cask. I'm seeing like barrels, oak barrels. Even oak itself, it takes a long time for an acorn to sprout into an oak tree. But the blueprint of the oak tree was always in the acorn. So that signature, that stamp, that verified potential, it's always there. It's always been there. It's never gone away. And I'm hearing flesh and blood. And I'm seeing your arms again. So maybe this has something to do with your hands or your arms. Maybe literally it does, like writing, drawing, I don't know, doing readings. You use your hands for so many things, building things. Doesn't have to be that healing. I'm just thinking out loud, but there's so many things it could be or you could do with your hands. And it's a physical aspect. It's a physical trait. It's a physical skill. And it does take time. So give yourself that time, because the oak tree not only represents that blueprint and that authenticity, I'm hearing stamp of approval, but it also represents wisdom. And oak was also often seen, I'm just realizing, fairies, yes, this is a fairy deck. And oaks are associated with like gateways, the gateway to the fairy realm. So there's some level of fantasy, fairy, I'm hearing nymphs, something about nymphs in the trees. Sylphs or sliffs, that came up in one of the readings on my other channel as well. And it was like portals, gateways. life force, okay? Yes, the force, the life force. You don't force it, you just let it flow. You let it flow through you and you feel it and you respond. You channel. You are a channel. You are an open portal. You are a gateway. And the full potential of that may not have been realized yet, group number 2. But if you allow yourself to come out of the corner, because nobody puts baby in the corner, and you free yourself to dance that dance of life, you're going to see. You're going to see the fluidity of this. You're going to see the power, and you're going to embrace the joy of the experience and the freedom of you. It's bringing you back to life, and it's going to bring other people back to life as well, because life begets life. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You are a beautiful thing. Okay. Anything else that wants to come through for group number 2, Spirit? Something about a third try or a third trimester. It's like this is your baby. This is your creation. And the third trimester may have to do with the particular timing cycle that you're in this contract. If you want to look up that meaning, what that could apply to you. Maybe it means that it's almost done, or there's only a couple of months left to go, or something like that. But I'm hearing preparation. I'm seeing somebody being prepared. So there's no need to fear or rush or force or do anything that feels like it's driven from fear. I'm also hearing from regret. So not responding from regret, because everything has been perfectly timed. It's very intentional, very, very intentional. There's a design to this, and it's part of what you created. It's part of what you built. And again, I want to say, trust yourself in that, because this divine design is beautiful. It's a work of art in and of itself, as are you, and as is this gift and what you'll create out of it. Now I heard pressing matters, and I'm seeing again somebody pressing that wax seal. And then I was being shown somebody pressing flowers as well, like preserving flowers. So something about pressing. Well, pressing is a force, isn't it? Yeah. Perhaps there's something here about that you felt pressed, your back pressed against the wall. Oh, the lights just came on. You were backed into that dark corner and the lights all just came on for you. Group number 2. The lights are coming on. You're ready. You're ready. I'm going to leave the reading there. You're being prepared at this time. Just flow with it. Embrace it. Embrace it. It's freedom. It's calling you playfully. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this reading was helpful. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. Thank you to the members. I'm looking forward to the Soul Family live stream coming up next week on Tuesday at 2 p.m. We're going to be doing a sort of October wrap up, maybe bridging into November energy. I'll also be doing a November month ahead reading on the Soul Tribe tier of the members side of the channel. And if you want to become a member, you can join by hitting the join button or clicking the links of the memberships in the description box below. And if you guys are looking for a personal reading or Reiki healing session from me, I'm offering those temporarily as well. You can find the information, pricing, and how to book in the description box below. It's through my PayPal account at this time. And just make sure that you include the reading type that you're purchasing and your email address so I can send those out. I love you guys. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. As you can see, the lights came on. It happened about 3/4 of the way through group number 2's reading. And I feel like it is a big deal. I want to say for you, group number 3, because there's something that once was dark that is now in stark relief, meaning like there's a huge contrast as the lights have come on and you've realized something here. We have the fairy Norn, and you can see that she's sitting there looking in the mirror. Oh, you know what? It's not even a mirror. She's doing stitching work. Look, you can see the thread in her hand, and she's weaving or stitching this beautiful, what is it called? Needlework. She's doing needlework of this beautiful unicorn. I almost wanted to call it a dragon. That's so strange, but that's channeling for you. So unicorn, dragon, some kind of mythical creatures here that you're seeing clearly. Now, this is the fairy Norn, and it talks about planning, patience, and cooperation. And you can actually see that now because the lights are on. So this is the thing. It's like you're able to plan, you're able to have patience, and you're able to work in a particular way because you can see it now. Things were dark and now they're light. Things were dim and now they're bright. And I feel the sense of playfulness, like, oh, everything's going to be all right now because the lights just came on and I can see everything's back online again and I can work again. I can work with this. I know what to do. I know how to strategize. I know how to implement. And a special message for somebody here who came from group 2 and then transitioned here into group 3. This is very important for you. It's connected to what we were talking about in group 2. That's not for everyone. That's just for someone specific. They just showed me somebody wearing a hat. You don't have to be, but they just showed me somebody wearing a hat as well. Okay. Now, I did initially think this was a mirror, and I think that part of this clarity or part of this light coming on and giving you the capacity to plan and to work towards this common goal is you seeing yourself clearly. And maybe seeing yourself through a new lens, because it was difficult to see yourself in the dark, but now those lights are on and that awareness is there. You have a certain level of understanding or comprehension that you didn't have before. I'm hearing the word belief. You have a different level of belief, a different understanding in that belief. And you're looking at yourself in the mirror and believing that what you're seeing and what you're creating out of what you're seeing is much more authentic. It's much more aligned. That's a better word. It's more aligned with your true vision of yourself. Because the mirror that you were looking in before was dark and you were seeing distorted shapes. You were not seeing yourself clearly, and then it was really difficult to execute any plans or to do anything very directly because your belief was warped by what you were seeing. And so your actions were going to be in accordance with that. So this is a huge revelation, okay? Group number 3, and I'm hearing the word revealed. Like this is a revelation, a revelatory experience that something is revealed as the lights come on, where you can truly see the truth of the matter here and how you choose to shape that. Because it's not just what's being reflected to, it's also what you're creating. That's the truth. Now there's something about a role that I'm being shown. A role that you will play or that you are planning to do here, or a role that you will facilitate in a group, because we do have cooperation. But then I was being shown somebody rolling something up as well. I think you're going to win something here, or you're going to have this clarity that leads to doing something that finishes a project or that finalizes something. I'm seeing a contract now. I'm seeing a deal. Yeah, group 1 and 2 seem to be connected, but I'm seeing a contract. I'm seeing a deal here, and I'm hearing dealer's choice. So I think you're going to have a choice. You're going to have the clarity around that choice, and then you can make a decision appropriately. Like you really do have the full view and understanding of what you're working with here. And with that full consciousness, you can give better consent. Like you can confidently say, this is what I'm choosing and why, this is what I'm creating and why, this is who I'm working with and why, because you are not under any false illusions about that. And the reason for that is because you're seeing yourself clearly. Because if you don't see yourself clearly, you're not going to see the world clearly. And you're not going to create something that's very clear and aligned or authentic, because it's coming from a distorted place. And so as you've removed some kind of a filter here that was making things warped, distorted, darker than they actually are, you're becoming very, very clear on what you want, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. And I see a level of dedication here to this. I'm seeing something about a subscript that you're writing, and you're very clear on that. You're able to read between the lines here. Now that the light's on, you can see what's both presented to you and what's not. You can see both. And this is why you're very clear on what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I'm seeing, like I said, dedication. There's a certain level of commitment to this role or to this goal or to this creation, whatever you're doing. I can see you really choosing to focus on that. And as you do, there's a certain level of propensity that I'm feeling. And I'm not even really fully sure on the literal definition of the meaning of the word propensity. So I will look that up and I'll add it here as I do. But I feel like it's, if I had to kind of paraphrase, I think it would be your capacity to do something efficiently or your capacity to do something well. That's how I would define it, but I could be wrong. And I'll always admit to that. So I think maybe that's part of the truth here, is that you're willing to see where things were misshapen or where there was some kind of illusion and you may have been wrong about something. And then that's okay. That's just because the lights were off, and that's okay. And I'm seeing you walking away from something now. The boots, something about the boots were made for walking. You're able to walk away from something that was not for you. It was false, and it was only like you were only staying in that arena or with that person or in that territory because you were under this false illusion of what the truth was, and you were seeing through that warped lens or through that warped mirror. And now that it's clear, you are very direct and intentional about what you're doing and where you're going. And so those boots are made for walking, in the sense that they're not just about walking away, they're helping you walk toward. And those boots could also represent like bootstrapping something, starting something from the ground up and looking for collaborators or cooperation with that, because you are intentional about walking the walk, and that's going to attract people. And there's going to be contracts that come from that are going to help you. They're going to assist you in completing this task, fulfilling this role, being this version of you, and entering into the environment that's going to foster growth therein. Now, I also want to tell you that the sky's the limit. And as I said that, I'm seeing like starry skies up above. But it also wanted to come through as disguise the limit. So if there is any feeling of limitation here, I feel like that's actually disguising something else. And that's part of the illusion, or that was part of the warping of what you were seeing. Yes. So as you address where you perceived limitations, you are going to break through those. You're going to see that those were not real, and you're going to rise above them, or you're going to be able to shoot higher. Because what is that saying? Even if you shoot for the moon, you'll land among the stars. You just go for it. It doesn't even really matter where you land. It's just more about rising. And I'm hearing rising to the occasion. And I think this is what you're doing. And you're formulating a plan, or you're tapping into the divine plan and following it diligently, with that level of commitment to this role that you are fulfilling, and working with others who are going to support that as well. Because this creation is, oh my God, beautiful and healing. It's unicornian, it's mythical. It is fantastical. It is magical, very powerful for sure. So there's a certain level of attraction that I'm seeing, magnetism, not just of other people toward you as you walk towards this goal or become this version of you that fills this role, but also the rising up. Because when we think about rising up, we tend to think about propulsion. There needs to be some kind of resistance, or there needs to be something that transcends the resistance, like rocket fuel or wings or something like that, right? Or wind. But what I'm seeing here is actually magnetism. It's like you can pull something up with magnets. You just need to have something magnetic at the top to transcend that resistance and pull that thing that was down there up. So it's an interesting image that I'm being shown, because it is lift, but it's not lift from the ground. It's lift from above. Does that make sense? This feels very symbolic. And I feel that it's your transcendence of the belief of these limitations or the illusions that were playing in your mind that were restricting this fulfillment of this role or the stepping into it that is going to be that magnet that pulls you up. So it's not even like you're just launching yourself into the sky and hoping for the best. It's actually what's more realistically happening is that you're stepping into an elevator. I know that's a different analogy because the elevator uses wheels and pulleys and things like that. But imagine it's a magnetic. Ooh, I heard electric as well. Electromagnetic. Okay, that's like the magnetism of your physical body and your auric field. It's an electromagnetic elevator, and you're stepping into it and rising. And I'm hearing 12th floor. 12th floor. So you're moving up, you're going up, you're rising. And I don't even think that the sky is the limit. Like, I think that is part of the illusion, is that there is any limit at all. I'm seeing Mean Girls, like the limit does not exist. The limit does not exist. And that's the point. And I'm being shown somebody inserting a golden key into the elevator. And you know how like in certain apartment buildings, you need to have a fob to get the elevator to work? It's kind of like that. It's this magnetic electro golden key that you have fabricated through the making of yourself into this person that you are now and that is stepping in to fulfill this role that you are planning for, that gives you access to that elevator. Now I'm hearing something about a fault and a fall. Perhaps you fear that if you fail, you will fall and it will be all your fault. Or perhaps there's illusions or false beliefs around delusion. Something about parenthood I'm hearing. I don't know how that connects to this. Maybe it's planning to have a child or something like that. That is a cooperative thing, right? And it does take patience. That again could just be a metaphor for what we're talking about here, the creation of something, a creation of a project, something that does require you and an effort from other people as well. But there seems to be some kind of tenuousness around wanting to trust other people, because I was also feeling this energy of like, if I fall and I've done all this work to become this and it's someone else's fault, I don't want to blame them. Or, oh, what if I blame them? What will that say about me? I'm not sure why that's coming through either, but it is. So I'll say it. And I'm being shown a fault line, like a fault line, a split in the ground. Something about a breakup. Maybe there's fear that if you fulfill this role or if you plan for something here, that it will fall through, or that the earth is not stable underneath you. But I was just thinking about how in group number 2, their card was number 22, and that numerologically reduces to 4. And then I looked down and sure enough, 31 reduces to 4. So it feels to me like, and it's 1444 as I said that, you can't make this shit up. And I feel like you are needing to understand the level of stability that you have underneath of you, not just through your boots. I'm being shown red cowboy boots. It's reminding me of How I Met Your Mother. Oh, mother. Yeah. Maybe this is planning for a child, but again, it could just be symbolic. But, the red cowboy boots, and red is the symbol or the color of the root chakra, and boots are on the feet, which is connected to the root chakra. And 4 is about stability, and the fault line underneath your feet is about the ground underneath you, which is also root chakra. So, okay, I think I'm getting an idea of what we're talking about here, group 3. You need to feel stable. You need to have faith in the ground underneath you, but more importantly, you also need to have faith in the magnetism within you, because when you're rising up in an elevator, you're leaving the ground, you're not touching the ground, and yet you're still grounded. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can rise and still remain grounded. And I'm hearing reprise your role, which I think means to like reevaluate. You may be reevaluating your role right now. And I'm hearing the fulfillment of it as well. So you could be looking down I'm seeing somebody looking down the barrel of a shotgun. What is this, like a shotgun wedding? Or I don't know. I'm just joking. But you may feel like you're under the gun here because you see it now and it's like, okay, I have to do something about this. But there's some fear there, or there's maybe this gap that needs to be bridged, or there's this state of consciousness that needs to be shifted in regard to your level of stability or the making of that stability. But I'm seeing a major blessing coming through here about your capacity to fulfill this role. It's like you have the magic touch. You can do this. It's destined for you. Truly, it is. And what you're building here, what you're planning, what you're doing is a major act of creation. It is a huge commitment, but it's not something that you won't have the resources to do, or it's not something that you won't have the support that you need to be able to do. Whether it's outside support or inside support, or magical, I'm hearing angelic support. So I feel like I want to say, you can do this. And again, I'm seeing the boots, and it's like these boots are here. You're giving something the boot, and then these boots are made for walking, and you're doing what you need to be doing. I think you're booting the fears. If I had to like make a guess as to what you're booting out here, I think you're booting fear. And you're bootstrapping it. You know, you're like, okay, I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to walk across this gap. I also just saw somebody, that's from a movie. What is that one called? I think it was like a Disney Pixar movie, or possibly just Pixar. And it's like an elven guy, and they're kind of like blue, and he has to learn magic. Oh my God. I will find, I can't remember what it's called. I will find the image of it and the name, and I will put it on the screen here. But yeah, there's a scene in that movie where he's testing out his magic, and he has to walk across this chasm, like that fault line. There's a huge gap, and he has to walk across it. Now, the key to that is that using his magic, he has to believe that it will work. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because if he falls into fear, then he literally falls. But the other edge of that sword is beautiful, because the second he says, no, I can't do it, then he walks on the air. It's like walking on water here, Christed energy with that unicorn, okay? So this is something, I'm hearing immaculate conception. Again, not literal, but there's something about this. It's like magical, divine, a miracle, a manifestation, a plan, a divine plan. I am hearing a birth plan. For someone in this group, it's very literal. If you are here and you've been trying to conceive, you will. And I don't say that lightly. Because that's a big statement. And I have to stand behind it because it's coming through from spirit. Like there's part of me that's like, don't shoot the messenger, but it's coming through from spirit. So I have to trust it and I have to say it. It's just how it works. That's the job. And there could be a certain level of this that applies to you as well, just metaphorically, like everything I just said. It's like there's something about this whole plan, or this process, or this becoming of yourself, or this walking in the direction proverbially on air and transcending some kind of a perceived limitation that you just have to do. Like there's a part of your human mind or your ego that is very afraid, that is very resistant or doubtful, or still is living in that false warped illusion of what you were seeing in the mirror before. But the lights are on, okay? And you know better than you did before. And this time around, it's different because you're different. Because you have been working on developing this magical skill, and you have been focusing on it, and you have been practicing. I can see that. And you are going to walk the walk. You're talking the talk and walking the walk. You're walking the talk, walkie-talkie. You've got friends on the other side that are communicating to you what you need to do. There's a certain level of cooperation here. And this is the plan. It's all executing to plan. So don't worry. Don't worry. You have contingency plans upon contingency plans, and you will not fail. You can adapt, you can improvise, you can follow the routine when it's working. Like you will do it no matter what. I can tell you that. And because this does feel like a divine plan, I can also speak to the fact that it's going to work because it is a divine plan, because it's not just coming from your human ego mind. If anything, the ego mind was stopping that plan and creating resistance towards that plan. But as you find yourself again, and as these lights have come on and you see clearly, I'm hearing, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone, and I'm being shown water droplets in the sky, something about falling on the mountain, and I'm seeing rainbows emitted from those water droplets. You know, it's like it's creating this rainbow bridge to the other side, cooperation between you and spirit. And your fellow earth workers, I'm hearing earth workers, and I'm seeing earth angels. And there's something about a coalition or a coming together, a collaboration, very cooperative, and it is mutually supportive of each individual's role and how those individual roles make up this much larger plan, divine plan. I'm hearing game plan. Now, there is a shift coming here, and maybe that's why they were showing me the fault line in the earthquake. It's like something is shifting. And I think as those lights have come on, the revelation or the revealing is very groundbreaking in the best possible sense now. I'm using that same sort of imagery in a positive light because that's what these lights are doing. They're shining light. And in that, there's much more hope and awareness of what's happening and why. And it is groundbreaking. So there is something that is shifting here. You could be breaking some patterns that let me use that phrasing instead, that were very difficult for you in the past, but they are easier now. It doesn't mean that it's easy, but it is more accessible and it becomes more fluid as you just trust this process. And you follow the plan. And by the way, yes, there could be a certain level of human planning to this, but I'm seeing the plan actually more referring to this divine plan, and how you follow that is through your intuition, which, by the way, doesn't always make sense to the ego. I can tell you that firsthand, because sometimes spirit will have me do things that are seemingly counterintuitive or seemingly counterproductive. And I just have to trust. And every time I do, they follow through, I follow through, everything comes together. There's always blessings in disguise, or there's always just outright blessings. And so I'm seeing you having that state of awareness, and that is helping to transcend that fear. That's what's allowing you to rise. I'm getting a huge pitch change in my left ear as I'm saying this. Confirmation. Ooh, this is a big download. Oh my God. Do you see the shivers? Do you see that? Big, huge download. And I'm seeing movement, and I'm hearing, I want movement. It's time. You and you and you and you and you are all cooperating, and you're moving. You're getting things moving. You're moving and shaking. And I'm hearing the song, what is it? I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down. Yeah, because the limit that the sky represented to you is tumbling down. That fear of failure is tumbling down. The earth is shaking underneath you because you are breaking ground. Oh my God, this is divine. I'm seeing Zeus throwing lightning bolts. Like, there's divine intervention at play here. I cannot overstate this. I cannot overstate this. I wish you could feel what I'm feeling. I hope you can feel even like an infinitesimal amount of what I'm feeling right now. Because sometimes when I'm editing my videos and I watch them back later, I'm like, yeah, this is good information. But when you're watching it objectively, it's like you don't get the full punch, but sometimes you do, right? But like when I'm experiencing the readings, like, holy shit, it's fucking powerful. Excuse my French. Well, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to swear because whatever. Open heart chakra, open throat chakra, self-acceptance. But yeah, it feels like you're just blasting through something here, and in a way that you thought was impossible, but is actually completely part of the plan. And it was divinely designed this way all along. And you're just going to shoot through the ceiling, everything, all those limitations, like the ground is cracking, the ceiling is cracking, the sky is falling in the best possible way, because you're realizing that all of that was an illusion to begin with. And all of that was just representative of these limitations that boxed you in. So yes, divine plan, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. And I'm hearing you were right. Now, I don't know who's saying that to who, or to themselves, or to you, to the divine. I don't know if you're saying that to me or who, whatever. But I hear somebody saying you were right. And I'm hearing you can take that to the bank. You can take that to the bank. And I'm hearing the shift is coming, and I want to move and I want to dance. And I'm feeling like very hot and sweaty right now because all of this energy is flowing through me and it's quite intense. So dance it out, shake, move your body, movers, shakers. Yes, move your body because there's so much energy coming through you right now. And this is helping you to rise, but there's also like maybe some pathways or channels in your energy body are opening up, and you got to move that energy through it so that it can anchor into you and ground into you, stabilize, and then you rise. Stabilize and rise, my friends. Stabilize and rise. Open those eyes. What a surprise. What a surprise. A beautiful prize. Okay, I'll stop rhyming now. I love you guys. Oh my God, I didn't even mean to do that, but I said you guys. Oh my God, I love spirit. I love you. I love this job. Okay, well, that's the reading, group number 3. I hope that it feels as magical to you as I am experiencing it right now. And I am sending you so many blessings as you walk this path and you step into this role and you transcend these limitations in this most divine of ways. I love it. I want to say thank you to you, actually. Like, I know I always do. I always thank everybody at the end, but I want to say thank you to you specifically. And you know who you are. It's everyone in this group, but like, you know who you are. And I don't know why I'm being called to say this, but I want to say thank you. Because maybe there's, you know what? I'm not going to analyze it. I'm just going to say thank you because that's what's coming through. I love you guys. Blessings, blessings, blessings. We'll see you in the next reading. If you guys want to book a reading with me, information is in the description box below. If you guys want to join the memberships, you can hit the join button, or information is in the description box below as well. Peace. I'm out. Mic drop. Have a great day, guys. Bye.